During his State of the Nation address last month, President Nicolas Maduro played a recording of the telephone conversation between two opposition figures, both of them retired officers of the Venezuelan armed forces. It helps to explain the rethinking of radical right-wing elements in the country's opposition.
Long lines at the supermarket, a weapon of war for Venezuela's opposition. That's the evidence of a telephone conversation between two retired officers that goes some way to explaining the economic war in Venezuela. The officers are Ivan Caratu, currently on the run in Miami, and Jose de Jesus Gamez, who has already been arrested. It was recorded last November.
Rivero is one of the key people working with Leopoldo López. I don't know how you get on with them.
Listen to what we have. In the poor neighborhoods, when things get rough, we'll encourage people to wish Chavez were back. Of course, it's a psychological operation to give us more credibility. That gives us strength. But their methods will be the same as last February.
In February last year, the opposition called violent demonstrations known as guarimbas. 43 people were killed. The aim? To overthrow President Maduro. The plot went on to its next phase, economic war. Vital products became scarce. The lines grew longer. People became more and more anxious. That's when they would act.
In places where people are lining up, there will be acts of violence. If there's a window, they'll smash it. And when that happens, people will start looting. So we'll begin to trigger a wave of violent looting.
Earlier this year, there were some acts of violence. Pictures of attempts to loot supermarkets circulated on social media.
This will mean the National Guard will begin to repress not just a group of opposition students from the oligarchy, but rather they'll come down on the people, on the poor who are lining up. That's our strategy. So we'll send the students not to the main avenues, but to the state supermarkets where there are long lines. They'll go there and begin to burn tires and stir things up.
The idea was to provoke confrontations with the National Guard guarding the supermarkets.
They'll go for the National Guard. The security forces will react and attack. Then they'll be attacked by the people themselves. This is our best bet for creating chaos. Because if a student is arrested, it's not the same as some old lady in the line being hit with birdshot. So these guys really have to go for it. Talking of peace is a strategy to show the world we are peaceful, but our actions aim to do as much damage as possible. On this, we are clear.
The officers explain how the students will be used to implement the plan.
So they told me to talk to you. I sent that material to you and various others. So it's the students who will set the streets ablaze. What I sent to you explains how they will confront the National Guard. It's the only way. At supermarkets like Mercal, Pedeval, Bicentenario, Garzón, what we want is this government out.
President Maduro called for calm.
The last thing we want to encourage or tolerate is a social explosion. I'm certain that the immense majority of our people, who remember what happened last year and its causes, think the same and love peace. I want to thank sincerely, in the name of the Bolivarian government and the country, the extraordinary patience and the commitment to peace shown by our people.
2 people have been arrested in connection with this conversation and the plot behind it. The violence planned for January never materialized.
Yo la siento con ustedes, queridos compatriotas.